We are right now experiencing a new moon in Virgo, but it's the second time this year, so it's a second wave of the new moon. Thank you for watching, your support is greatly appreciated. And what does that mean, having a second new moon? So it's not entirely a new moon, because we already experienced that energy earlier, but it's still an opportunity to bring new seeds or new perspectives about the seeds that you planted previously. But the thing is, you can't really start it all over. What you can really do, or it's the easiest thing to do, is to upgrade or refresh the seeds and perspectives that you planted before. And now we have some different alignments in the sky. There was some changes, and you can update and use new information, more experience, more databases into your new perspectives, feelings, emotions, and ways to attract in general as well. As always, remember to book readings and consultations with me using the link tree down below to reach my Instagram, or to use the email in the description as well. So not only is this new moon in Virgo a new opportunity to refresh the seeds that we previously planted when the moon was already in Virgo, it's also an opportunity to take different care, or to take care in different ways, or to take care about different aspects of yourself while keeping those changes within the same perspectives that we were doing New Moon in Virgo earlier. And also, most of the seeds that you planted before most likely already grown or are already in the process of growing. So in many cases, or in general right now, instead of planting new seeds, it can be also taking better care or new ways to take care about the fruits and the plants that are already growing in your esoteric garden, aka perspectives, new goals, new objectives, new ways to feel, new ways to react, new ways to respond, new ways to look, new ways to obtain status, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just starting a new cycle, it can just be refreshing, upgrading, or changing your perspective about the cycle that you were in previously. And the new cycle is still very identical with the previous cycle. Also, the first new moon in Virgo happened when the sun was in 0 and 1 degrees Virgo. So it was really, really early into the Virgo season. So there was not a lot of experience, accumulated for us to really know what were the best seeds to be planted. But now the sun is 27 degrees Virgo, so 3 degrees away from going into Libra, so we have way more experience and we have way more information gathered that allows us to now update and plant better seeds or take care differently of our garden. Also, being 27 degrees Virgo means that soon the sun will go into Libra, and most likely we'll also have a new moon in Libra very, very early. So right now we can already start to integrate new creative ways to think, communicate, and analyze about beauty, sophistication, pleasure, commitment, fairness, and justice into our actions, expressions, and visions that are mutable or scattered, and that are about practicality, efficiency, organization, stress, work, and health in general. And we're talking about how we can bring new approaches and new perspectives to the seeds that you have planted previously and to the fruits that have grown from them. So those new perspectives can include all in between new feelings and emotions, new attractions, about mutable and scattered limits, boundaries, responsibility, work, stress, and organization. Also, in this new moon second wave, you might feel refreshed, you might feel free, or you might feel inspired, or you can feel empty, nervous, and not supported in your routine, safety, stability, privacy, organization, profit, work, and health. Because we are getting into Libra season very soon, you can also already be feeling a bit more scattered mentally or more inspired in your relationships or personal interests. This new moon might cause you to feel stressed about new things or in new ways or about nothing at all. Also, might make you have new worries or in new areas, positively or negatively. You might also be able to feel new ways to care in mutable, flexible, and scattered ways when it comes to practicality, efficiency, and moderation. You might feel new ways to release or associate your energy, visions, and feelings in a realistic, structural, efficient, or in a negative way, insecure, stress, or dry ways through mutability and flexibility in the emotional and subconscious or internal mental realms. And as usually, I took a tarot card for today's energy, and for this second wave on New Moon in Virgo, the tarot card is the Three of Cups. So this means new awarenesses about the subconscious realm, about deep feelings, deep emotions, and deep desires, about things that are happening behind closed doors in your life or in somebody else's life, or just you getting a new awareness about others' feelings, others' emotions, and others' subconscious realms, or you discovering something or shining light into something that was in the dark before. And the best way to approach this situation is with a golden solar dragon. Focus on your individuality, focus on your creativity, focus on your visions, focus in your spirituality, and be an example. Don't be too authoritarian. Don't try to steal the light and the show from others. Don't try to look a certain way. Don't try to look spiritual and fresh. Be spiritual and fresh. Be an example of how to be creative, unique, and individual while having a mutable or scattered way to have structure and safety. Also, this new details, these new awarenesses of the internal realm might make you feel a bit insecure, or others might be feeling insecure about that, or they're being caught off guard. And with a golden solar dragon, you can be, and others can be to you, a beacon of hope, of entertainment, of pleasure, of good times, of comprehension, of a safe haven. And now, because this is the second wave of new moon in Virgo, I think it's important to refresh our perspectives to how every single sign is going through or was going through, depending if you're ready for the next cycle or you're still lingering. Not like this is not right or wrong. It's just very important for you to know where you are at the moment, right? So anyway, it's still all about these new seeds of Virgo. So new seeds, new feelings and emotions, and new attractions, new responses and reactions about mutable, flexible, or scattered ways to obtain, maintain, share, and associate security, safety, profit, efficiency, status, limits, boundaries, health, work, and organization. And every Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mars, they have the Ace of Cups in the second wave of new moon in Virgo. This means you have a unique feeling, a unique perspective about the internal realm, a unique attraction, or a unique emotion in this new cycle, in this refreshment of the moon in Virgo energy. Then Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, you have the Princess of Pentacles. So you are developing a new internal way to deal, integrate, and make sense of reality, structure, responsibility, and yours and others, and bountifulness. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury. In this new second wave new moon in Virgo, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So you have a new opportunity to receive structural, physical, or dealing with responsibility support. So you have to be open, you have to be able to perceive this, and you have to be able to then use this support. All Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Jupiter, you have the Queen of Swords. So you are open, or you have the opportunity to receive intellectual, relationship, and social support. Then Leos, in this new one in Virgo, or second wave, you have the Five of Pentacles. So you're creating or receiving new ways to be attached, to be connected, or to be reacting and responding more to the physical realm, some responsibilities, some unique or specific aspects of your reality. Then we have Virgos themselves, and they have King of Wands. Of course, they have all the power right now to create new empires, to create new limits and boundaries, to create new visions, new desires, new personal interests, new personal insecurities, or new ways to go about them in a mutable, practical, and efficient way. Then we have my Libras, Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus and Saturn. By the way, for the Virgos, it was Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury. And now for the Libras, if you have Sun, Moon, Rising, Saturn, or Venus in Libra, the Six of Swords is the card representing your second wave of the new moon in Virgo. So we have a new opportunity to bring more authority, attention, limits, and boundaries to your own way of thinking, communicating, and analyzing. Are you feeling limited? Are you feeling you're receiving a lot of attention? Are you feeling others are using their authority into your own way to think, communicate, and analyze? Then for Scorpios, second wave of new moon in Virgo, Eight of Swords. So you might feel stuck in a mental realm, or you might feel protected and supported by a relationship, a thought, or an idea. And then for the Sagittarius, new moon in Virgo, second wave, Three of Swords, so you're creating new logical perspectives or new awarenesses about thinking, communicating, analyzing society or relationships. And for the Sag, is if you have Sun, Moon, Rising, or Jupiter in Sag. And for the Scorpios, if you have Sun, Moon, Rising, Pluto, Uranus, or Mars. Now for Capricorns, if you have Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, or Saturn, your new moon in Virgo second wave is described by the Princess of Swords. So you're creating a new internal way to think, communicate, and analyze or integrate thoughts, ideas, and analysis process from the external realm. And this is winter, you might feel a bit lonely, or you might feel the need to separate to come back with a clearer and sharper mind and social awareness. For the Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Uranus, Mercury, and Saturn, the new moon in Virgo second wave is symbolized by the sun. So you're creating new, mutable, and flexible, also practical, responsible, and efficient ways to see and be seen by your logicality, by your uniqueness, by your individuality, by what you represent, by your values, and by your image. But you might be focusing too much on the egotistical parts. You might be focusing too much in being seen a certain way, in being seen better than others, or you're feeling insecure and you don't really want to show your light because you're not sure you can associate your individuality and your uniqueness into a mutable or flexible way that is also practical. But in the end of the day, you gotta shine, you gotta be yourself, and you gotta associate, you gotta integrate your uniqueness and individuality into the reality in a most efficient and profitable way possible on a personal or multi-personal level. And last but not least, if you have Sun, Venus, Moon, Rising, or Neptune, or Jupiter in Pisces, this new moon in Virgo second wave is characterized by the Prince of Cups. So you're developing an external way to associate and be mutable about your emotions, feelings, dreams, illusions, imagination, and deep perspectives about spirituality. And now let's see how the new moon in Virgo second wave is aligning the rest of the natal chart. We have Mercury in Libra now, fatally threatening the new moon, so it means we are creating new and creative ways to think, communicate, and analyze in more sophisticated, balanced, and pretty ways about these new mutable or scattered feelings about practicality, routine, and efficiency. Venus is in Virgo, getting 0 degrees right now, so coming in, still bringing some fixed spirituality and creative or egotistical energies, but in general, it's easier for us to feel insecure or inspired to commit, to have pleasure, and to relate in more mutable or scattered and also realistic, practical, and efficient ways. Then we have Mars in Libra, fatal attracting the new moon in Virgo. So we have new creative ways to think, communicate, and analyze in more sophisticated and balanced ways about our passions, motivation, anger, and frustration. And now we have new feelings and new emotions in how to attract or associate those new thoughts or those new ways to communicate about our desires into reality in a more mutable, scattered, efficient, or private way. Then Jupiter in Cancer, sextiling the new moon in Virgo, it's an opportunity to expand and travel far emotionally or spiritually with these new feelings and emotions about mutable or scattered routines, patterns, organization, work, and health. Jupiter in Pisces opposing new moon in Virgo, so finding new obstacles or finding new support systems when it's time to take your routines, your patterns, your work, your stress, and your health, and then bring some spirituality, bring some faith, bring some purpose, and bring some deep connections within or without to those areas. Next up, you have Uranus in Gemini squaring the new moon in Virgo, so we are learning how to create new mutable or scattered feelings that are practical, efficient, and profitable about change, rebelliousness, opposition, and innovation being communicated in light, scattered, mutable, surface level, cold, and detached ways. We have Neptune also in Pisces right now, going retrograde with Saturn into Pisces, and that's opposing the new moon in Virgo. So you have new, realistic, practical, efficient, mutable, or scattered ways to feel, react, and respond to mutable processes where you and others are connecting, expanding, and creating spirituality, dreams, and illusions about generational and archetypal curses, gifts, memories, powers, and dreams and illusions in general. And last but not least, Pluto in Aquarius in conjuncting new moon in Virgo. This is misunderstanding new feelings and emotions about mutable and scattered routines, patterns, work, health, and organization with the transformational process that the whole world is going through right now to achieve spaces where you have or are associated with unique minds and unique realities that can express themselves in a unique, consistent, stubborn, logical, and unique way, while having unique realities that support themselves, other unique individuals, other unique causes, and humanitarian, logical, and spiritual progress. That's everything for today. Make sure to be aware of the new moon scenario, that you can have a bit less energy today. You might feel a bit more insecure today, but it's also the opportunity to plant new seeds or clean your garden because it's a second wave. So the garden was already planted. Maybe you just need to take some weeds out or bring some better water. I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions, and a whole bunch of individuality, creativity, and responsibility as well. See you next time.